Hello. I finished my reading of J.G. Bennett's books from the 1950s with a caveat. So I recently finished, this is a newer book, newer in the sense of when it was published, Who is Man? This is transcripts from a series of lectures in 1955 on transformational psychology. And then we also have Energies. This book came out in the 60s, but it's actually from a series of lectures in 1956 on energies. This is around the first two volumes of the dramatic universe. I'm stopping here, so I'm not dealing with Subud, which was like 56 to 62, 3 or 4 years, 57. There's a couple of 2 or 3 books from that era. There's Concerning Subud, and then there's Subud and Christian Mysticism. When I get into the 60s, I'll talk a little bit more about the end of the Subud era. But my overriding thought after reading all these books from the 50s is that Bennett really could have used a good editor. They're dense. They weren't meant to be books. They were lectures, and I know that people went through and turned them in, but I just still think, and this is going into the 60s. I'm in the midst of rereading the books from the 60s now. There's just so much saying the same thing like 4 or 5 different ways. I understand that when you're trying to make a point, but it kind of belabors it. And now I say that having early when I worked in my career, I was an editor at one point, but it just seems like you could kind of compress and distill that stuff a little. I mean, when you think about this era, right, Gurdjieff has died. There's a little consolidation at the beginning and harmony, but that quickly goes. Bennett is off, essentially excommunicated by the time he gets to Subud. And so he's kind of on his own. I mean, I always believe that Bennett was always as much a seeker as he was a teacher, even to the end of his life. Good luck.